What's going on, guys? It's Devin here from BeastAesthetics, and today I wanted to go over my recent powerlifting meet, pretty much just do a video log over everything from the weigh-ins to how I felt to my lifts, how I felt afterwards, and what I'm going to be doing in the future in terms of competing. So taking you guys back to Wednesday, which was 2 days before weigh-ins. Friday, there were early weigh-ins from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., and I lifted on Saturday at 9 a.m. So Wednesday I had my daily macros. They were normal, 90 grams of fat, 500 carbohydrates, 225 grams of protein. But I honestly ate most of my food towards the end of the day. So my last meal was right around, I think, 12 a.m. So Thursday morning, theoretically. And then after that, I was done eating until weigh-ins. So that's right around 38 hours out before weigh-ins that I was fasting for. So 38 hours I fasted for. On Thursday, all I did was I water loaded, which means I just drank a huge excess amount of water. I had 2.5 gallons of water, and I cut my water out at like 5:30 p.m. that day. So 2.5 gallons of water in a few hours. Brought my weight up from 193 morning weight on Thursday to 205, I think it was, at 5 p.m. So I didn't really cut 20 plus pounds of weight to make 181. I really dropped about 12 pounds of solid body weight. But I water loaded, and at the top of my water load, I weighed 205 pounds. That was the most I've weighed, I think, during the day with no shoes on, no clothes on, since way long ago, years ago, back when I was like 230. So anyway, so after that, pretty much just cut my water out, didn't eat, and then my weight just started dropping. Thursday night, I was weighing like 193 before bed. And then on Friday morning, the day of weigh-ins, I woke up at 191 pounds, I believe, or like 190-ish. Went to the sauna at like 8 a.m. and I stayed in the sauna off and on for 4 hours. I dropped about from 190 down to about 180, 184, 183-ish. Say hello to Nala, guys. She's making a special appearance. She's getting kind of chunky. Look how big she's got, though. Wow, look at that. Go play with your sister. Anyway, so it went from 191 down to like 184-ish on their scale. This is the gym scale. I have no idea what my scale would have been, but weighed in at 184, and I was just done with the sauna. I wasn't even sweating anymore at that point. This was around 12:30 p.m. on Friday. So I decided to take a gamble just to drive down to Tampa and to hope that their scale was going to be weighing less, because last time something similar happened. I was weighing like 180, 181, a little over 181, and then I went to Tampa and I weighed 178. So their scale was definitely lighter than the gym scale. And thank God, that's exactly what happened this time. Weighed at 184 on the gym scale, went down to Tampa, weighed 181.6. So their scale just reads lighter than the gym scale, and I made weight with that. So right after that, I went to Golden Corral with me, my brother, and Brody, and I got my weight back up from 181.6 to 200 pounds that night. So I probably ate around 8,000 calories that day, and had about a gallon of water, a lot of sugary drinks. I had like 4 or 5 sodas at Golden Corral. So with that being said, that was definitely the most weight I've had to ever drop to make weigh-ins for a powerlifting meet in a short time span of 24 hours, or technically 38 hours, since I started fasting Thursday morning. The day of the meet, we had to get up early, so I only got like 6 hours of sleep that night. Went to bed at 12 a.m., got up at 6 a.m. We had to start lifting at 9 a.m. We started lifting at 9 a.m., and we got there around 8:30 to warm up. Warm-ups, I felt kind of tired because I'm not used to really lifting at 8 in the morning, especially on little sleep. I'm used to sleeping around 9 hours, to be honest. So 6 hours of sleep is definitely a lot less than 9 hours. That's 50% less sleep. I'm not here to bitch about that, guy. So the warm-ups actually felt really good. Even though the warm-up area they had at this gym was very sketchy, there was uneven ground, plates were uneven, they didn't even match. The bars weren't even good bars for warm-ups either, besides the deadlift bar. They had one deadlift bar, and that was only good for deadlifts when we got to the deadlift warm-ups. But anyways, 375 was my last warm-up for squats. Then I took 425 for my opener. On my opener, I smoked it. It felt really light, but towards the top of the lift, I drifted forward, which caused me to take a step right as they gave me the rack command. Like, it was literally the same time they gave me the rack command, but 2 out of the 3 judges gave me a red light because I had stepped forward too early. Wasn't really fazed by that at all. I'd figured, just take 440 for my second lift, and just to really make sure that I, hit the rep, hold it, and then wait for the rack command. I did that. I felt really good. So I decided to go 445 for my final attempt, and then I talked to George, and I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go 445 just to keep it safe for a 5-pound PR. And he's like, man, just go 450, man. 450 sounds so much cooler. And I'm like, you know what, man, you're so right. 445 to 450 is definitely not a huge jump, but it just sounds so much more badass. 450 is just like, there's those set marks you want to hit when you're trying to get PRs. It's like 400, 405, 425, 440 because it's 200 kilos, and 450 would be the next mark you would want to hit if you're trying to hit PRs, in my opinion. So I took 450, didn't feel too heavy on my back. Went down, hit really good depth. Actually, the depth was very, very good. Came up nice and smooth. Felt pretty hard towards the top of the lift, but I grinded it out, and I probably honestly had 455 in me, but 450 was definitely a good weight to pick. 10-pound PR since my last meet, and it was a stronger pound-for-pound squat than my last meet as well, if not my strongest pound-for-pound squat ever, I think. So squats went great. Went to the bench. Warm-ups felt really easy, even though the bar was not good and the weights were uneven. The warm-up area, I always feel strong. The benches always are kind of the same in terms of like the thickness, the cushion on the bench, the height, and they kind of feel like my gym benches. So 295, I took 295 for my last warm-up before 315, my opener. And it felt so easy. I honestly thought in my mind I was going to push like 335 that day. Go to the meets bench press, unrack 315. It feels so much more heavier than the warm-up area. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm still going to get this. I know I can get this for sure. Come down, got a pretty long pause press command, in my opinion. But still got it up pretty easy. So in my mind, I was like, all right, I think I got 325 in me. So I take 325 on my second lift. I bring it down. I get even a longer press command. So I was sitting down. I was like, 1, 2, press. And I launched it up about halfway, and I just couldn't finish the rep. So then I tried it again on my third attempt, and just couldn't do anything with it, guys. I'm not going to complain about missing that lift. I can never really gauge my bench 100% like I can when I'm training at the gym, because I'm so used to the gym bench press, the bar, the bench press itself, being fully carb loaded before heading to the gym, and never having to maxing out on squats prior to bench press. So I can't complain about hitting 315 and missing 325. Wanted 325 bad, but you know what? It is what it is. That ties my best bench so far at 181. But that's just what I got. So moving on to deadlifts. By this point, I wasn't feeling fatigued at all, but I was actually feeling kind of tight just from squatting and bench press. My back was tight. My hamstrings were tight from kind of falling forward with 425. Taking a step forward with 425 on my first lift. So the warm-ups kind of felt iffy. I went up to 455 for my last warm-up before my 495 first attempt, and that felt pretty good. Took 495 my first attempt. That felt okay. The speed wasn't that great in my head, so I decided to play it safe and go 520, which would give myself an all-time conventional deadlift PR without a belt, and that would tie my previous meet deadlift PR of 520 sumo, which was my last meet in November. So I took that, and I'm glad I did because it felt pretty hard, and I wasn't sure at the time how much more I had in me. Like I said, my back was getting tight, my hamstrings were tight. So I pulled that, and then I went to the put in my final attempt. I put in 525 just to give me another all-time deadlift PR, and that would tie my best ever deadlift period, regardless of body weight, straps. Because I did 525 back in 2012 when I was 210 with straps, just, at home, not even in a full meet. So I took that, went back to hang out with George, and I told George he asked what my final deadlift attempt was, and I said 525. And he said, oh, man, but you need 535 to hit a 1,300 pound total. And I said, man, I don't know. My back isn't feeling 100%. My hamstrings are tight. 520 was slow. So he's like, but dude, you're here to kill 1,300 pound total, 100% raw. He pretty much convinced me to go back and to change my final attempt to 535. And I'm glad he did. I'm really glad he did. So big thank you, George, because he's the only person that could have convinced me to jump up another 10 pounds on my last attempt above what I thought in my mind what I could get. Because honestly, guys, I thought 525 was all I had in me. So I knew putting 535 for my final attempt, I had to dig deep and find something deep down inside me that was going to help me pull that weight. So, I hadn't hit ammonia for months, ammonia capsules, and I had one left in my gym bag. And I'm glad I did. So right before I walked up to 535, I had Brody, put the ammonia right in my nose, and I took the longest, deepest inhale with the ammonia stick I've ever had. It was like that long with a fresh stick, and it just got me enraged. And I'm glad I did, because that's probably the only reason why I pulled 535 was that ammonia stick just literally just getting me so pissed off. And it was just the most epic grinder. It was like a 9-second grinder. If the weather wasn't like it was, I probably wouldn't have got the lift. It was windy and cold out, so the wind was traveling through this open gym, and it was really dry because of this. And my legs were very smooth, so I put baby powder on my legs. My brother did. And it just barely slid up the top part of my thighs at lockout point. And if it was hot and humid like it was during the summer, I probably would not have been able to lock out that rep. So I'm just very, very happy with the whole meet in general. This will be the last time I'm competing at 181 pounds for sure. I'm definitely going to go 198s next time. I'm going to try to break that 100%. Sorry about that, guys. My memory chip was full. I gotta get a bigger memory chip in 15 minutes, all right? Like I was mentioning earlier, I'm moving up to the 198 pound weight class for my next meet. I am not exactly sure when that will be, but it will definitely be within the next 6 months. And with that time giving to train, I'm hoping to hit at least a 1325 to a 1350, 100% raw total, no belt. That's about it, guys. So thanks for watching. Big shout out once again to George, Tessa, Bonnie, B-Rye, Brody, Chris, and Colby, and Tomas for coming out to support and show your love at my meet. And a big thank you to all my fans who supported me throughout my training to get ready for this meet. And another update for you guys, my t-shirts will be coming out at the beginning of February, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. As always, stay aesthetic, bras. Beast out. Deuces.